So how I established myself as an artist is I was at World Online as a online technician. Worst job ever. Don't do it, you know. Well, at least for artists. And then during my lunchtimes, I would peruse town and kind of walk around and just check out the galleries. And that was my introduction, I suppose, to the need of wanting to be in a gallery and wanting to be an artist. And that's when I discovered this is it for me. This is where I'm going. Asked around though, you know, and they all kind of said, no, you need to be an established artist to exhibit here. There was one guy in particular that said, okay, let me see what you've got. And I didn't understand this whole idea of being an established artist. How do you become an established artist if you don't get to exhibit your work, you know what I mean? And so what I did was, okay, this guy, he said, bring your art. I had no art to bring. I ran home, I did some art, I did some work, I took it to him, he said, okay. And a year later, I sold my first piece. That's how things kind of started. And then I dropped everything. I dropped all my work, and that's it. My medium of art is kind of all over the place. I work with, at the moment, I work with oils, inks, charcoal, pencil crayons, acrylics. Just go completely boss when it comes to materials. I like the feel of the materials and what it looks like, and I play around a lot with that. I think to a large degree that's maybe what my work is about, you know. But yeah, how much is playing influenced my art? There was a time I was a graffiti artist. I mean, this is a large part of what I do now, and I don't believe anything is wasted. So this idea that we go through phases, you know, I think everything kind of connects in some way. Eventually you will lose, hopefully, you know, what you did sometime in the past. And I'm at a point in my life when I realize I'm using every bit of art influence I've had over the years. How it felt having my art worked over, and yeah, no. I don't think at the time you were really even concerned about that, you know. It was, you knew it was something that was short-lived. You knew it was something that's going to be up for a short time, and somebody else would come and share something else, you know. My uncle, he's an artist. He was an artist, he's an artist, I don't know. So he used to like challenge me and like, you know what are you going to do? You can't even take that word raw and sell it, you know. You're spending all this money on cans and there's no returns. It got me thinking. Maybe a little bit of a waste, yeah, but it's a whole cultural thing, you know. The graffiti world, the hip hop world, the b-boy world, that time, I don't know, it's a lot different to what it is now, but it's so very, it's a very close-knit community of people that's kind of speaking to each other. There's a whole idea that they try to beautify the community is a lot of crap. You know, this was guys just trying to diss each other or trying to just say things that, what do you think the writing on the wall? No layman can understand what they're saying because it's something between them, you know, between the hip-hop community. And if you kind of learn, you learn to read the words they write and stuff like that. So it's very, that's nothing to do with the community. Spirituality and materialism, that's the question about my work, yeah. Spirituality and materialism. I don't believe the one is disconnected from the other, but I think the two is really intricately connected. The physical form, the spiritual world is all connected. The one is not without the other. Music. the whole idea is you have these notes and people kind of very theoretical idea of what music is, but then it goes beyond that. So one person would play something and it could just be theory, and another person plays it. Why is it that it speaks to you in a different way? You know what I mean? And it kind of connects with your soul or with your emotions. And and the same about art. Kind of make marks until I have a sense that this painting is speaking back to me. Until I can sit down and look at it and get lost in the painting. The process of going through a canvas is the easy part. It's the part before that is the difficult part, thinking about my work. I think a lot about my work before I start working. But when I work, a lot of thinking actually stops, if not more thinking at times, and it just becomes something really automatic. It's almost as if all that thought process kind of just spills over now into the actual work and the production of that piece, or the making of it. The spirituality directly relates to my art in the sense that it deals with that surface matter, and because there's a big part of what we do in this world not what we do, we live almost in a sense ignoring the fact that there is a spiritual, or that there is an end to this physical experience, but there is a very real end. And I think we kind of get caught up in this idea that we keep ourselves busy, keep our minds busy, we entertain ourselves, and until that finality, I don't know why, and I kind of, if I could have been a lot more blunt about it and a lot more clearer about it, it's just not something people want to hear. And I suppose I spill my guts out on my canvas when it comes to things like that. I'm not a religious person. I'm not. But I believe there's a lot more to this world. There's a lot more magic. There's a lot more unexplainable things that that what we dare to admit to another life or a life outside of art. Yes. Is it different? Look, I don't know. I'm a family man. I'm married. I've got 2 kids, a wife. It takes up all my time when I'm not in the studio. And that, I suppose, has a large influence on me being successful as an artist. So when I paint, what do I think about? Look, this work is a very bad example of what I do because it's not complete. So when it comes to, I do kind of think of my work as an abstract work, There's a form there, but if you look closely, there's a lot of marks that shouldn't be there on a human figure, And that's all abstract. That's just random ideas, or me even sometimes. What I do sometimes while I work, I kind of write down shopping lists on my work, or just things that I must remember. Oh shit, I need to remember, like a to-do list, or memories come up, past, and I start putting down words, and eventually I start working away the word because I'm not kind of trying to just full on say something. And sometimes the words are kind of visible, but so that's it. So much goes through my mind while I work. I kind of just let it happen. It's everything and anything, So I don't necessarily try to force an idea onto the canvas. Like I said, most of the thinking happens before, and so when I'm actually working, it becomes a lot more free. A lot kind of just happens. I had an idea, and ideas always change. As I'm working, I'm kind of just open to the whole process.